Hi there, this is Albert Robertson. I am the coordinator of social studies for Lexington School District 1, and I also support elementary science in the district. And I'm excited that you are joining me for this brief presentation about the new elementary science curriculum here in Lexington 1. First and foremost, to kind of get connected with your curriculum, you're going to actually go to the core landing page. If you do not have that bookmarked, you can go to this tiny URL and it will take you to the core landing page. You can also click it in my email signature. If you've gotten an email from me recently, I believe all the core coordinators have this in their email signature. So you should be able to find that pretty easily. And you're going to click on the K5 elementary core landing page once you get to the core landing page. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is the core landing page. And what you're going to do is click on this K5 elementary core landing page, which I've got actually pulled up. And it will take you to this home page where you'll see all the different grade levels. And you will click on the one that corresponds with the one that you're teaching. And you'll find all the resources that you need. Just to kind of walk you through what the different units are and what the changes are, we'll start with kindergarten. In kindergarten, the units for science are going to be weather patterns, living things in their surroundings, and forces, motion, and interactions. In first grade, we are going to be digging into seasons and space patterns, needs of living things and their offspring, and light and sound. In second grade, you're going to be jumping into changes in the Earth's surface, living things and their habitats, and properties of matter. In third grade, the new units are going to be weather and climate patterns. There's a pretty hefty unit on effects of traits and on survival, and then jumping into relationships between forces and motion. In fourth grade, we are actually going to be doing the 2014 fourth grade standards because you are still tested on SC Pass. So we want to make sure that you have that information. You are not going to be switching to the new standards until that assessment changes. And in fifth grade, we are going to be doing Earth systems, changes of matter, cycling matter in ecosystems, and observable patterns in the sky. As you'll notice on all of these, you'll see some FDPR expectations documents, recording sheets. Those have been updated, as well as a pacing guide. Now, the reason for this switch is because we are slated to get new ELA standards next year, and we didn't want you to be hit with a double whammy next year, having two new subjects worth of new standards in 1 year. So we wanted to go ahead and pilot this year, get our feet wet with them. And I'm very excited about the resources that we've been able to connect you with. We've worked pretty hard to actually modify an existing curriculum from Utah. The reason that we're doing that is because these are based on next generation science standards. The South Carolina standards are, and there are so many great resources out there that we were able to kind of make a copy of and modify. This was open access curriculum, and I think you'll be really pleased with it. It's pretty turnkey and ready to roll. So I have a couple of examples just to kind of show you what the new cups look like. So in kindergarten, the unit on living things in their surroundings, you'll notice there is a compelling question. This is what everything hinges on. How are my needs similar and unique from the needs of plants and animals? And you've got this statement from the standards as to, living things depend on their surroundings to get what they need: food, water, shelter, etc. You'll see the South Carolina standards alignment. There's a phenomena statement. This is a statement that basically is explaining that there is this phenomena. For example, different plants and animals in a forest and a desert are going to respond differently, right? And that depends on the area that they are living in and other factors as well. You're going to see when you roll down a little bit more, you'll see a narrative of a storyline. This is basically just a high level overview of what the students are going to be doing and experiencing during this unit. You'll also see some documents for this storyline. And by the way, you're going to see some language like storyline or storyboard. This is a way that we are going to be able to connect all of the different pieces of this unit together through this storyline method. So if you think about kind of like a timeline or this series of events or series of things that's going to happen that's really connected, that's why it's a connected storyline, not kind of a disjointed collection of different activities to do. This is really intentional intent to be really connected. So what you're going to see when you click here, there's actually a storyboard slide, which basically is a slides presentation that you would use to teach this unit. All of the information in the slides presentation is also available throughout the cup. If you would prefer, we wanted to give you both ways because some people like to look at the cups and some people would probably prefer to just pull up the presentation and go from there. There's also a student journal that you can use with your students. This is a Google Doc, and you can actually make a copy of this for your students in print, or you can put this digitally on their device. And there's a performance task that's going to be linked. And that's something that you really asked for last year was performance tasks aligned to the feedback-driven progress reporting. So we've done our best to try and get those in each of our units, or at least describe them. If it's not a separate document, it'll describe like this is what you need to do with your students so that they can demonstrate their understanding. I'm excited also about the immersion resources that you'll see for Spanish, Chinese, French, German. And so that's exciting as well. You'll see all of these things have been translated, okay? And so as you scroll through, you're gonna see some patterns. In each of the lessons, you're going to see this pattern of gathering resources, reasoning through those sources, and communicating your reasoning. And again, this is the same pattern that you're gonna see in the presentation. So we've got the videos linked, we've got the information that you need, we've got teacher suggestions, we've got this section that says, you know, what did we figure out in this lesson and what's the next thing we need to do? Over here on the left, you'll see each of the storylines has episodes, and it's almost like if you're thinking about like a television series or something like that. And a phenomena. Bears make their home in a cave. So that's the phenomena that you would begin kind of with and have that conversation with your students. And then you would work through the gather, reason, communicate for each of these. And it looks like a lot at first, but really and truly, it's got everything that you need. And I would urge you again, take a look at this storyboard slides presentation because it's going to be able to walk you and your students through what you need to learn about the different parts of this unit. So in the slides version of this, you're actually going to see some speaker notes for the teacher underneath. So that's available for you. And it's got everything you need as far as the videos linked. It's got the things you can put up on the smartboard and you can drag and drop and that sort of thing. I mean, it's got everything that you need already built in. So we're excited about that. Again, we have modified it. We have done a lot to make sure it's personalized for you all and your needs. So I would encourage you to give these a look as you're preparing to teach these units. So then you'll scroll through and you'll see again that gather, reason, communicate kind of inquiry arc. We're going to gather resources, we're going to reason through those resources, and we're going to communicate our findings. And at the end, there's a kind of a big communicate that asks you to do this performance task. I can communicate information about a care plan for an animal by evaluating patterns between its survival needs and its environment. And again, this is linked here, and it's also linked in the presentation for you. All of these are the same format. So here's a third grade example for weather and climate. You'll see again, here are the storyline standards. Here's the narrative. Now you will see for grades beyond kindergarten, we've not gotten kindergarten yet because they have not released it in Utah, but we actually have an open access textbook that's in English and in the immersion languages, and that's been separated by storyline. So you'll be able to see that textbook in English and all the other immersion languages. Again, all the immersion resources are here. You'll have a storyline presentation, and you'll have a student journal that you can use with your kiddos. You'll see those 5 E's over here: the engage, explain, explore, elaborate, evaluate. You'll see the performance tasks, and one bend of the unit essentially is going to be storyline 1, and the next bend of the unit will be storyline 2. So you will, just to kind of show that that language is similar, storylines are equivalent to a bend, and those are essentially the different aspects of the unit that you'll be covering with your students. In 5th grade, not too different. You'll see again, there are a few storylines that you have with your students. There is the standard, the storyline narrative, the slides, the student journal, and the immersion resources and textbooks available in all the languages. I would encourage you to go to your grade levels page and dig into those science resources. And if you have questions or need clarification, to let me know. My email is on each of the curriculum unit plan landing pages, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. I appreciate all that you do, and I hope that you have a fantastic year. And again, if you need anything, just do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you for all you do, and let's move onward as one together. Have a great year, everybody.